People often assume loving dogs is a simple preference, but psychology shows it reflects how a person's brain forms emotional bonds. Research in behavioral psychology suggests that dog lovers tend to have heightened sensitivity to emotional cues that are nonverbal. Dogs communicate primarily through body language, tone, and presence. And people who bond deeply with them are often wired to read subtle emotional signals. Studies on emotional attunement show that individuals who respond strongly to animals often score higher in empathy-related traits. This doesn't mean dog lovers are always emotional on the surface, but their brains are constantly processing emotional information. Neuroscience research shows that interacting with dogs increases oxytocin levels in both humans and animals. Oxytocin is the hormone responsible for trust, bonding, and emotional safety. Repeated exposure to oxytocin strengthens neural pathways associated with attachment and emotional regulation. This is one reason dog lovers often feel a sense to calm or grounding around animals. Their nervous system associates connection with safety rather than threat. Psychologists have observed that dog lovers tend to prefer relationships that feel emotionally predictable. Dogs offer consistency, loyalty, and emotional presence, which shapes what dog lovers come to value in people. This often makes them uncomfortable with emotionally chaotic or manipulative behavior. Their brains are less tolerant of inconsistency because it disrupts their internal sense of safety. Attachment research suggests that dog lovers are often more secure or seeking security in their emotional bonds. They don't connect casually because bonding activates deep emotional circuitry when they care. Their brain invests fully. Cognitive psychology shows that responsibility strengthens emotional meaning. Caring for a dog requires routine, patience, and emotional availability, which reinforces a sense of purpose over time. This trains the brain to associate care with fulfillment rather than burden. That's why many dog lovers feel uneasy in relationships where effort is one-sided. They subconsciously expect mutual care. Research on compassion fatigue shows that empathetic individuals often feel emotions more intensely. Dog lovers frequently fall into this category. They absorb emotional environments rather than blocking them out. This is why dog lovers may feel drained after social interactions. Even positive ones, their brains don't shut off emotional processing easily. Psychologists also note that dog lovers tend to score higher in agreeableness. One of the big five personality traits, agreeableness, is linked to cooperation, kindness, and emotional responsiveness, but it also correlates with difficulty tolerating emotional cruelty. Dog lovers often struggle when faced with coldness, neglect, or emotional indifference. Not because they are weak, but because their brains are wired for connection. Studies on moral psychology suggest that dog lovers often operate from internal values rather than external validation. They don't seek approval as much as emotional alignment. They want things to feel right, not just look right. Dogs reinforce this by responding only to genuine emotion, not performance. Over time, dog lovers become sensitive to emotional authenticity. They notice when people say the right words but feel wrong. Another pattern research highlights is comfort with silence. Dogs don't require constant stimulation. Dog lovers often learn that presence itself is connection. This shapes their communication style with humans. They may speak less, but feel more. Neurobiological studies show that calm companionship lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. This explains why dog lovers often regulate stress through simple routines and physical presence. However, this sensitivity also means dog lovers are vulnerable to emotional overload. Their nervous systems react strongly to prolonged stress or emotional conflict. Psychology refers to this as high emotional permeability. They feel deeply because their emotional boundaries are open, not rigid. This makes detachment difficult. Letting go isn't just a decision for them, it's a neurological adjustment. Research on attachment loss shows that individuals with strong bonding responses experience separation more intensely. Dog lovers often carry this into human relationships. They don't replace bonds easily. They value continuity over novelty. Psychologists also observe that dog lovers tend to define love through actions rather than declarations. Consistency matters more than intensity. Presence matters more than excitement. This is why unreliable people feel especially painful to them. Their brains associate love with safety, not unpredictability. If you recognize yourself in these patterns, psychology wouldn't call it coincidence. It would describe a nervous system optimized for connection. Empathy and emotional truth. Loving dogs isn't just about affection. It reflects how your brain bonds, regulates emotion, and understands loyalty. And once you see it that way, you realize it was never just about dogs. It was always about how deeply you connect to life itself.